Howdy, y'all. My name is Press. I'm coming at you with some more colony survival. And we are back here in the colony. I have done a little bit of work. You'll notice in the upper left-hand corner, we have 218 unfilled beds. I went ahead, and let me go ahead and show you. I continued to fill out our underground space. You'll remember I made this one last time that heads on over through to the farm right there. Decided to make another one across the way. It's pretty long. And then I filled in this guy, too. I might have a couple more beds that my people have made for me now. Yep. They always make me a couple because I have it set to do so. So let's just add a few more. We're not going to fill these beds today, I don't think. Mostly because the food situation is something that we need to really work forward on. So really what I need to do is, if I'm going to clear out more spaces like this, I need to make some more underground wheat farms. We could use quite a few more. And I could also do some more terraced farms like this guy. I could build that way up, or I could build on top of another one of these. Either way, that's something that we're definitely going to need to be doing if I want to be growing this colony anymore in terms of the people. Like, we're still making probably about 100 or so food in profit, but that's not quite enough. So the other thing I did is I went ahead and I laid out, you'll see these little blocks here. I was just kind of trying to measure out the dimensions of the space we got here. It's a lot wider than it is deep, and that's fine. And kind of the idea that I wanted to go for was I wanted there to be a kind of courtyard area. So we'll have like the pathway come up to the entrance of the castle or throne room, which, you know, looking at the size of this thing, if I put it here, the entrance that is, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad enough space in the front for some things. And that can go all the way around. And I could even make it one of these buildings that kind of like, it has an area that comes out here, and then it has an area on the other side. It is evenly spaced, as you can see, and it is... let's see, 20, let's see, each of these is set 5 apart. So let's see, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 from the walls to the very center of this area. So that gives us a grand total of 50 blocks across. Obviously, we'll want to leave a little bit of a gap between the wall and the building itself, but I've got some ideas for how we want to lay this out. The other thing is I have been considering taking down this building here, taking out our... beds and everything. Y'all are just chilling, huh? These are all of our people who are unemployed. I feel bad for y'all. And once we do that, people can move into the underground stuff. I may actually also get rid of this thing here. And the reason I would do that is I think what I might do is actually build stairs down from inside of here down into the secret underground living quarters. And that way, that gives us a little bit more space here. I could put maybe another wheat farm like right there. I would also eventually maybe want to move this guy as well, the bread making area, and that'll give us, again, more space here for just farms. And the bread making area, I mean, I could put it underground if we really wanted to like maximize our space, or I could make the grand kitchens be inside the castle. So I think that might be what we do. Now, I've looked up a couple of pictures. I'm going to put down a ton of torches because I know that at nighttime this stuff gets difficult. We're going to be doing a lot of building today. I also need to fill in all this with brick and everything else like we should, so that'll all get done as well. But right now, I'm just going to lay down a couple torches so y'all can see everything that we're doing. I'll probably, considering we have so many dudes unemployed, I might just throw down a whole bunch more archers on the walls just cause, like, just why not wreck every zombie in the land? But I really do want to use up those beds soonish. I don't know if we'll do it today, but we'll definitely get it soon. Okay, so now I'm looking at, I found a really cool picture of a castle online, a real castle, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to make it work. It's a pretty simple structure, but it's one that I think will make for a very nice castle overall. So if we do something like, if this is the center, and I want the entrance to be, let's say it'll be a 3-wide entryway, you know? So something like this, doot. So this is the center line still. We do something like this for our grand entrance, okay? And I'll change out some of these blocks probably with some other types of blocks once I've got a better idea for the design elements that I want to incorporate. Right now it's just more about getting the structure down. So something like that, and then if I just quickly jump up like this and do something like that, we get a nice kind of like, you know, not quite, not just a normal doorway. It's got a little bit of shape to it. Okay, and then if we offset, so if this is on the 5 line, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that'll be on the 5 line. Then I think we'll actually do this. So this will be where the wall is, and then I'm going to actually, this will kind of extend out a little bit in front as well. Now, here's, I'm just going to, right now, again, just laying stuff out for myself so I can kind of get an idea of where things are going to be before I commit to too much here. So we'll go like that. And then we're already on this part. So here, what I want to have, so let's come out this way. We're going to have a kind of tower area that kind of sticks out. Like I said, we could have building structures that stick out from here, which we might have some other buildings put over here. Like I said, like the royal kitchens and things. Because most of this is going to be, if we build out the space, what I would like, so we've got a gap of 3 there. So that'll be a fine gap there. So this whole interior space is only going to be 15 long, but outside it's actually, you know, 25 wide on either side. So it's a very long building. Let's grab a bunch more stone bricks. We have tons. Thank goodness that you can actually set dudes to mine for you. So we're going to be building mostly out of this stone because A, it's a really plentiful resource, and B, because it'll let us lay things out, but also because the building that I'm modeling this off of is actually of this same kind of color scheme. Again, just laying some stuff out really quickly to kind of get a feel for it. And what I want to do is I want to lay out kind of like the floor plan, and then we will build up the walls themselves. So let me just line these things up. You're here. Yep. You are here, and you are here. Okay. So if this is going to be one full side, let me bring this back to here. Do I want a full 5 gap there? If it's 3 gap around the edge, let's do 3 gap around here as well. So, well, oh no, yeah, it'll work. I know why. I'm just going to do this for a second. As long as I keep those peaks there so I know where the heights are. So the reason for this, like that, so what we're going to do then is I want this to kind of have like a little kind of circular tower kind of thing. Not too big, but a little bit of one. So if we do something like that, okay, so that comes around this center guy right here. And so this is our circular tower space, okay? So it'll have enough space on the inside to where I can actually put a kind of stairwell of sorts, okay? So it'll go up like this, and then spiral around, as you can see. Okay, so that'll be the like kind of the stairwell part of the interior of this tower here. The other thing is, I'm building these up like walls, right? So I need to make sure that I leave myself. Let's see. Where's the exterior again? Hold on. If the center line is here, then it's 1, 2, 3. So it should actually be like this. Yeah. So I'm just kind of going to remind myself of the space right now. And so then, yeah, this is the actual center. So then, yeah, if you were to walk in, if this were the floor, you'd walk in and you'd be like, okay, jump up on the stairs, boop, boop, and we're going up. Okay, cool. So that's that. So let me just kind of doot. Again, just laying this out for my own benefit. So that's going to be a nice, tall kind of tower shape here. Again, let's just kind of, so you can visualize it a little bit as we're laying it down. So yeah, kind of circular, kind of guard towery shape that will be up there. It'll go up, fairly high, and we'll maybe even station some guards on it overlooking there. Then we have all this long space here. We'll mirror the same thing on the other side. So let me just run all the way out. Straight to the edge, and then I'll go do my 5s again. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit tricky to do the spacing of things in this game a little bit because of the issues with the with how pretty the shaders are and everything like that, they actually hide where blocks begin and end pretty well. If you left click really quickly though, you get the picking up blocks little wireframe thing, and it'll stick there for a little bit. So if you just kind of like rapidly click, left click a little bit, it does give you this guide. So I was using that in order to help me kind of like lay things out early on. Okay, so if we do the same thing here, where would the 5 show up? It's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 was the center pillar. Perfect. So we'll do the same thing on the edge out here. The 5 is the center pillar. Doot, doot. And we'll just leave it like that for now. So if that's the center pillar, then we want the interior to be open. And so it's like that, and it goes like this, and like this, and this. Oops. Need more blocks. Boop. And like this. And then you enter from here. Or we could have the entrance be here. I need to check out, what did I do on this side? Okay, I had it like that. Okay, because I definitely want to make sure it mirrors. So basically, I'm going to start laying this stuff out so y'all can see how it's going to be, and then we'll see if I do, depending on how long it takes, if I show you the whole process here, or if we even finish the whole thing today, honestly. Otherwise, I may do some time lapse at some point if it's just kind of like filling in spaces here and there, because y'all don't need to see all that. So I'm going to do the same thing on each of these corners. So we're going to have 4 towers all along. Each corner is going to be a tower like this, the rounded edges. So then let's plan out the rest of this. So let me look it straight on real quick. So basically the idea is this whole wall in the front, this front wall, it's going to be about 2 stories tall. So something like about this tall as you see me. You kind of like make the line out. The tower's something like 3 stories tall. Now in the center of the building, it's going to be a very flat wall to the front, right? And then we're going to have a nice little roof on the front of that. And the center of the building is actually going to extend up even higher, something like 5 or 6 stories, and be kind of like a little castle structure within that structure. And that'll be kind of like the grand, that'll be like the king's quarters. And then down in here will be kind of like the grand entrance, where you kind of, you know, this will be where like the throne room is. You'll see the king kind of sitting here, the king being me, of course. Kind of sitting here on the throne. There'll be like a nice little entryway, and then off to the sides we'll have the different kind of buildings, the chef's quarters and all kinds of stuff like that. And then straight up above we'll have some staircases, probably, I mean, I guess we could say that the stairs are located within here, but the king should have like a staircase that gets them to where the king can do. So we might have like a private king's stairwell somewhere that heads on the way up to the top floor. But anyway, so that's like the basic floor plan. Now, the other thing we should figure out is what types of flooring are we going to want inside the throne room? Let's see. So obviously we have the big entrance here. And if I extend, let's get this whole brick and stone pathway kind of laid out. And another thing is, like I said, I want this to be like a cool kind of courtyard area. So I want to do some stuff with the bushes and the other things. I think that that'll look really nice if we do it properly. All right, so we got bricks leading straight up to the doorway. Okay, and I definitely want more of this type of stuff. So I'm just going to dig this out real quick. Okay, and then I will eventually finish those walls, and I will eventually brick up the inside of the moat and everything. I just felt like this was the main thing I wanted to focus on today. Because we talked about it last time. And y'all had a lot of great ideas for the types of areas to have inside of the castle. One of y'all you wrote like a huge description of like every little detail that you'd like to see. And I don't know if I'll do every one of those things, but I do appreciate the excitement for and the attention to that kind of stuff. Let's do it one more. So this is kind of like it's heading up to like, you would, think like the steps. And I could actually like, raise this up if I wanted to, like, hey, you got to walk up inside of the castle. But I actually kind of like it just walking in. I was thinking though for the bridges over the moat, I might do something where we kind of extend those up, something like this kind of thing. Let's kind of just really quickly map it out like what that would look like. So you do something like that, right? And then you kind of raise it up, and then you can kind of have little things sticking out if you want to. Doot, 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 doot. I just had a thought that's going to be so funny. If I put a bed in the king's chambers, someone's going to go try and live in it because of the way the game's programmed. That's hilarious. Just as I saw the people walking around, I was like, oh, that would be something, wouldn't it? So, something like this, where you raise the bridge up, and then we'll go dig out the underneath for it so it looks kind of like it curves up over it. Something like that. And take that out and take that out. We don't need it to be 5 wide. Okay, so then let me grab some grass just to fill these spots in real quick. Doot. Okay. And yeah. You see. I think it looks kind of nice. Like, it's not perfect. I definitely need some lights up over here. But something like that. That kind of makes it. Oh, and I have to fill in this. When I built this thing, I accidentally wandered a little bit far off course. You coming at me? Yeah, you can't come at me. Psh, who you think you are? Okay. So something like that. It just gives it a little bit more depth, I think. If you do it like this. Obviously, it's a little more of a headache to get up there, but, adds some character. All right, let's grab torches. And let's do a couple like that. Like that. Nope. Pick you up. Danke. All right. Cool. Ain't nothing too fancy, but it's something. And we'll do the same thing over on the other side where the zombies are. Okay. So, flooring. Let's think. So, the throne itself. Laying down a whole bunch of torches so y'all guys can see. All of y'all can see. All right. There we go. Let's think. I just want to kind of lay out a couple little swatches here of color so I can see what looks good. I'd like to maybe even do a pattern on the floor in the throne room. So if we do, oh, those look so good. I love that. So if we did a pattern, right? Something like that. You'd even do hold on a second. Oh, that looks, the red pops so well from the berry, planks. Doot. I need to, I'm going to hire some more miners. And honestly, it's so funny that I use the berries. I'm glad I have so many berries. I'll be using a lot of those berries for that. So we could do a symbol, of some sort or something like this, right? So you have different, ooh, I like that. Because the fancy planks, these ones, they kind of glow almost like gold. Oh, yeah. So that's going to be what our throne's made of for the most part. Okay. So, now, that doesn't necessarily need to go here, because this isn't where the throne's going to be. Unless I want the throne on the side of this. So you have to walk down a long way to get to it. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of you walk in and literally the first thing you see is the king judging you. Because, that's what kings do, right? Let's see. Just gonna quickly do that. All right, I'm gonna knock out a whole bunch of this, and then we will. I'll start laying out some of the floor. So I'm probably just going to quickly run around. I'm going to dig out all this stuff, and I will be back once I've got the floor laid out. So here we will do our first time lapse. See y'all on the other side. Y'all, so I have gone ahead and put in a bunch of the floor. As you can see, I haven't finished the whole area. Let's pull this guy down. But I laid out what I think looks kind of like a red carpet kind of deal. And you'll see I have this kind of zipper pattern up the middle, which I kind of like. But I'd like to hear what y'all think. I made those kind of cool little starburst symbols that I came up with the nice planks in the middle. So obviously that kind of shines. You get like that kind of cool effect if the sunlight comes in, which obviously I'm realizing I'm going to need to put in some big windows to make sure that sunlight gets all the way in. So I think right above this door, we're going to have a nice big window that lets the light right down onto the throne, which I made here. It's a simple throne, but I like it. I like how the cherry color or the berry wood actually really like pops. So I think I might switch this part out for that. It really just has this just vibrant color to it. And then I like how the dark wood really complements all these little design elements that I threw in here. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. So now I got to figure out what I want to do as far as the other rooms and whatnot. So I'm going to kind of like lay out a couple of areas and we'll just see kind of what happens. It'll be a little haphazard here and there. So let's go ahead and we're going to... let me find out where the line is. Perfect. This is the line. So this is going to be this whole chunk right here. So I'm just going to run across like this. Just going to lay out a flat wall real fast. Just a straight line. Just to kind of demarcate that. We'll figure out where the actual line will be. And then beyond this, it'll probably be like just regular planks, because why not? It's only in the area of the king that things must be beautiful. I was thinking, though, about maybe having it be the nice high-quality planks. But let me go run over to the crafters. I'm actually going to add a couple more crafters real quick. We have people. They're eating food, but they're not doing anything, so why not just make some more crafters, right? So let me grab... We should have a couple of crafting benches. Yep. Always have a couple of those made. So where do I want to put these guys? Let's go ahead. I know I haven't like laid out the actual spots for people yet, but let's go ahead and say like this wall up here is also going to be a spot for crafters. So we're going to put those two down there. Let me grab a couple crates. And do we have any more crafting benches yet? Not yet. Okay. Let's go ahead and do that. Whoops. Nope. See it? This thing bugs me. There we go. Okay, so we should have some dudes walking in here now that we have some jobs given to them. People, where art thou? Oh, you're just trying to get to work, huh? There you are. They walked all the way around the backside, I guess. So those guys will do some more crafting. Now let's set some different crafting rates for a couple things. I want to make sure that we have more planks all the time. If we have enough wood, which I probably need to, and I want a couple more of these and a couple more of these. I probably need to actually make another forester as well. That's something that, you know, like using all this wood, we've only had the one forester the whole time, so really we don't have a ton of logs, yeah, as you can see. So it is a bit of a trick. But you do get a fair amount of planks per log, so it's acceptable, I guess. Let's drop the coal back in here. Oh, that was another thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to set up another couple of miners, specifically a coal miner. So let me, tool selected, let's make a miner. Again, because we have extra people, let's go ahead and miner, do like that. Because that way we always make sure that we have enough coal to make enough of those dark wood planks, because I really like that dark wood. It looks real nice. Okie dokie. So let's run back over towards the castle. Let's lay out those bottom floors, and then I think after that, I might do another time lapse where I'm going to kind of build up the walls a bit, and then I want to work a little bit on the courtyard. I don't think we'll finish the whole castle today. It's a pretty big build, but I think that once we're done with it, I think it'll be nice. Okay, so now we're thinking, how do I want to split these out? Like, what do I want to do in each of these areas? Let's get those, and let me take the inventory. Let's make a ton more planks. Just a ton. There we go. 2 honey. Okay. Now, and that was all of our logs. So there we go. So let me just lay the floor out real quick. Oops. And let me just try and think about where do I want different things to go. Because I definitely want the King's Stairwell to be something. I want, like I said, the ovens, I guess the kitchen, I guess. We have the mall area that I built, which now that we're making this castle and I'm actually having people work in it, I might actually put the goldsmiths in here as well, because that kind of makes sense, right? Have the treasury and all the money and stuff be inside the castle. So we might do that as well. So with that, we can make an area that's kind of built around that concept. But having a bunch of cooks will be nice. And then also, the more that we can take out of that front area, the more buildings we can kind of tear down and turn into farmland and kind of dig out spaces for farm stuff. Because the more, honestly, the biggest thing you need in this game is food. Once you have enough food, you can do whatever the heck you want, but you got to have the food. Okay, so let me think. In this area, we have the stairwell that goes up, and I'm going to have multiple floors here as well. Like, honestly, I could build like a farm inside the castle, but I don't want to do that. So we'll say the stairwell is going to be here. So this is the private king stairwell. The door is going to be right here. So let's kind of give it enough space to go back and forth. So then let's just say then that like maybe this is a kitchen. If we have a kitchen here, what other structures will be like inside the king's castle? Got the ovens, we got the grindstones. Could have crafters, but really it's like the shop and the mint. You know, there's not enough stuff to put in places in this game. We have so many coins, not even going to use them. But yeah, we'll say maybe that side is the where the goldsmiths will be. Okay, on the same side that the king walks up, right? That makes sense. And then over here, this will be the kitchen, and it's going to be a huge kitchen. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to actually use some of the dark wood as well. Because we don't have a lot of regular planks. Oh, now we do. Yoink. But also because we can do that really nice, kitchen-style design. I guess I could use plaster. Oh, I could use plaster. Let's try that. The white and black kind of thing that you often see in kitchens and in bathrooms and whatnot, the tile kind of floor. It might kind of stand out a little bit too much. We'll see what it looks like. Let's just do that. Okay. This kind of thing, I think that works really well for a kitchen, don't you? It's in all the cartoons and all the movies. I think it works really well. All right, so let's just go ahead and put down all the dark blocks. Okay. Just like so. Oh, yeah. Okay. Come on. It's a stupid torch in the way. You need to make the sight line for things that don't take up a full cube be less than the full cube, because I get why it does that. It thinks it's a full block, right? It thinks it's this space, but I'm looking here. I'm not looking at this. I'm looking here. I'm looking here. Make me interact with stuff there. Just if it's transparent, it shouldn't be interactable. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Obviously, that's just me criticizing. But, I think that with these early access games, it's often good to voice your opinions and your concerns with the game, because it helps the developers to know what the issues are with players, right? Because I might not be the only person who has that same complaint. Look at the number of times I've had to jump down and do that. And if they see that it's a common complaint, maybe they'll go like, oh, okay, maybe we should do that. Or maybe they say like, no, that goes against our design decisions, and that's fine too. But at least when the whole purpose of early access is to get feedback on how the game's working. And I think part of how the game works is the UI and the interactivity and how things interact. Like right there, I can't place anything in that block. I have to get rid of the torch to do that. It's a little frustrating. Doot, 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 doot. Okay. Come on. Yep, see? Can't do that one either. Yep. Ay. So let's drop you here and here. Here. Nope. I wanted to put you up there. I guess I didn't have to pick up that one, but I do have to pick up that one. And I do have to pick up that one. Okay. Yeah, this is looking good. And then I'm just going to put down a bunch of the... wow, that plaster is so bright. The way that it reflects off of that. Do you have any more? Okay, good, we do. I was worried there for a second. Okay. Doot, 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 doot. Nope. Last couple ones. Okay, so how do we want to lay this out? We need grindstone areas. We need chests. We need... furnaces. So, the ovens rather. So let's go ahead. I'm going to make, I don't know, like 5 ovens. I don't need that many at all. But again, we have 23 unemployed people, so giving them jobs will just have them actually like walking around doing stuff, even if they're not doing much. So I don't have a problem with that really. Let's go ahead and we're going to say, I want it to have kind of like a flow to it. I just want to get a kind of a view of the space. So if we know that's the 5 line, I think if you walk into the kitchen, so we're going to say that you enter the kitchen from like right here. Okay, this is the entrance to the kitchen. Okay, go like that. Okay, so people can walk in. They walk into the throne room, bow, and then walk over here. I just want to go ahead and say I know I'm being the worst. It's all jokes, y'all. It's all jokes. I'm a tyrannical king. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Now, so they'll walk in here. And so what's the first thing they're going to see? First thing they'll see, I think that would be the ovens, the cooks. You're actually looking right at the cooks, right? So this is where the line of cooks are. Just like that, okay? So you have to run along the line here. Then kind of behind the cooks, we'll have like 2 spaces. And then it's all crates, okay? So these crates are, this is kind of like, I see this as like, in the back we have the people on the grindstones. I see them as kind of like the sous chefs almost. And so what you have is you have, let's see, oops, wrong button. Oh yeah, that's right, these don't have a direction to them. So you have the grindstones all here. And so you'll have the people over here grinding, okay? And they put the stuff on like this plank area here, and then the people over here who are cooking, they all cook here, and it's like, aha, look, thank you for your delivery, ah, yes. And we'll even have, just for decoration, a couple of crates there, another crate in the back here. And obviously, I have left room for expansion, so I could easily put another row of grindstones, and I could easily put another row of ovens on the back line here as well. Although people would be standing in the same spot, so I would actually probably want to move this up one, and then grindstones in the back, etc., etc. So it can be done, though. One of them's even grinding. Isn't that great? But we're definitely going to need more wheat to really take advantage of that. Okay, so that's that area. And then over here, I think, like I said, this will be the, what do you call them? The goldsmiths. Now, I don't need to make more goldsmiths. I'm not going to make more goldsmiths. I'm going to go pick up the jobs of the goldsmiths and move them over. Because I only have 9 unemployeds left. I want to make sure a lot of them are soldiers, guards, before I move on to the next chunk of hirings. And I also want to make sure I have farmers as well. All right, so that's a goldsmith's job, or a shop's job, and a goldsmith's job. Actually, the shop should stay here. Shop should stay here. That's right. Goldsmiths, though, y'all are coming with me. Okay, sorry. The goldsmith at the mall has been closed up. Amazon put you out of business. Boom, I'm throwing shade. But like seriously, I was at a mall last week, and it's like empty now. I love online shopping and all that. Totally a big fan of it, but also I recognize that it has destroyed brick and mortar stores. Anyway, social commentary aside, let us, we're going to use some nice coated planks here. It's not all nice, right? We got like kind of like the lower quality here, but nice coated planks. This is the area. So almost would be like a bank area, I feel like, the treasury. So we're going to go like this. We're going to put another one like this. Let's put some crates in there. So that's where those guys are going to work now. And then here, I don't know, we'll have to think about how to fill this space with stuff, mostly decoration. But now it's all about building up some of these walls and building the towers and building the courtyard. So that's what we're going to do next. So let's see. I have gone for, we're going to say something like 35 minutes so far on this episode. So I'm going to do, again, another little time-lapse area. And then once I get probably the first story worth of walls and the towers up a little bit, I think that'll probably be where we'll end it. Oh, and then we'll throw some stuff in for the courtyard, and y'all can see what I'm talking about with the courtyard. There's a couple of really cool ideas that I would like to try and incorporate, but well, we'll just have to see how that goes. So I will see y'all on the other side. All right, y'all, I am back, and as you can see, I put up big chunk of the wall. Nice front-facing wall there. It's not all done, obviously. Like I said, this is going to take us a couple episodes to finish, but I did want to go ahead and get started on the courtyard area. I do love how that shadow right now. It'll change once the back wall's up, but at least for right now, look at how that shadow kind of like comes through like that. That's super cool. But as you can see, I left a nice big window, so when the sun comes up in the morning, it should face this way, because I believe the sun travels along this line in this game. So it should get some nice sunlight right down in there, right on top of the throne, which I think is exactly what I'm looking for. On the interior, you'll see I gave this guy a roof, mostly because I was trying to lay out where I want the second floor to be. And actually, for the throne room, we're going to fully skip the second floor. And so the king's stuff is all going to be on the third floor. And so I wanted to make sure I had that floor there so I kind of get like a sight line for where I would put this wall. And so then, as you'll see, like this will come to like right about here. And that'll be where this chunk stops. This side I'll do the same thing with. And then we'll have the third floor will be the ceiling here. And that'll probably be the end of the areas for both the left and the right side. And so then like the third floor, that'll be where we'll have the king's chamber, which he'll get to from here. And then, yeah, that's pretty much that, which we'll see all that probably next time. And because next time it'll be all about putting the roof on there. I'll probably do a lot of the building of the walls and the spaces and stuff in between. We'll see. So that next time we can focus more on food and whatnot, because that'll be the next big thing, is going to be me moving stuff and us getting more food built. So I'll probably also, in between episodes, I'll go just dig out a ton of open space so that I can fill some more underground wheat fields, but that'll take me a lot of time. So last thing I wanted to do is I wanted to just play around a little bit here in the courtyard. So let's do that. It's going to be nighttime, which is not the best of times for this, but we will make it work. Let's get a couple torches up just to help us out here. And so first thing, obviously, we'll want a couple bushes lining the way. Okay, that's just like that's, you know, GG easy Design 101. Let's have some equidistant spaced bushes along the way. Oh yeah. And then I wanted to have a nice little like kind of like garden path area. And so I'm almost thinking, oh, you know what we could do? We could do like a hedge maze. Oh, that would be cool. So if I did something like right now, let me just kind of lay something out like this. It doesn't have to be a hedge maze on both sides. It could be a hedge maze on one side and then some other stuff on another side. Because I did like the idea of maybe doing... y'all are so weird. They go through those windows instead of going through the doors. I did have an idea of maybe doing some wells and things as well. And so, because that's a suggestion that a lot of y'all made that I should do with the... ever since we got the moat in, a lot of y'all were like, dude, you should totally do some wells, which I think is a great idea, putting some wells in, where we'll dig down to the water level, we'll fill them down in there. We won't be able to get the water up, which is too bad, because I would love to have like a pond in the front, but even just having a well that kind of springs up, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, we could do like a hedge maze kind of deal. I'm just laying out the outside of it right now. We have tons of leaves, though, that we can use for it. Okay. Let's just do a little bit of that. Nope, come on. Here we go. I'm just doing an outer wall of leaves, and then on the interior, I don't know, I'll figure out how to make it nice and confusing to get into, or to get through. And then in the center, we could put something like, I don't know, like a big tree or something. Okay. But either way, we can have a nice little garden area. Give me this. Thank you. Yeah. I just want to see what that looks like from the outside. You know, and then let's just kind of put some torches up. Just like that. Let's just kind of like lay out a little maze. So it's like you come in. Obviously, you can go left or right. And then you kind of go like along the wall. And then you can maybe come in here this way. Right, okay. And then... Oh, you goofed. You goofed. Always go left. So then we have two more pathways that you could do. And here we'll have it kind of go like this. And then from there it'll go like this. Okay. And then this guy, when you come in, it'll be like you come in, and you got this spot, and you got that spot, but then, oh, boop, you didn't make it. Sorry. Try again. So like that, maybe. Yeah. Okay, and then, so this guy, you come around. Do. Move a space there. And like this is where you want to get to. It's going to be like this area right here. So if you take that path, that'll get you. That would have been the right path. Doot, and that gets you to here. Okay, and you can even exit on this side if you wanted to. Actually, on this side. Oh, that's great. No, that's great. And this will be where like the fun stuff is. Like this is where you want to get to in the maze. So you come out that way. Okay, and how about like that? Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's just double it up. Just want to see what it looks like. Oops. Doot. Oh man, I'm glad I came up with this idea. Like it was just like a last minute thought because I was like, honestly, I was going to build like topiary. I was going to be like, oh, let's build some shapes. But you know, with as big as these blocks are, these voxels, it's really difficult to do any kind of really organic looking building. But this way, we really take advantage, actually. Like we turn the blockiness of the shape into an asset, which is exactly what you want to do in a situation like this, where you say, oh, it's blocky. Let's do something extremely blocky that only works when it's really blocky. Okay, and there's our hedge maze. Okay, and that gets you out to here. And so I just take this all the way up to the wall. Okay. And then this is where you can have like a little garden party. And I think that's a great idea. Let's just do that. Okay. Right here, our little garden area. And there'll definitely be a There'll definitely be a whole bunch of cute stuff in here. I think a well would fit really well in here. I didn't mean a pun there, but you know what happens. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so then I might go in and I might replace all this grass with brick or something like that. And then in here, let's make a nice little kind of like seating area and design. Let's see. Just want to see kind of the shape of this place. Okay. So if I grab a little bit of brick, okay, a little bit of maybe plaster, okay, for a little bit of contrast, do something like doot. Oh, that space is much bigger than the other one. Whoops. That was a mistake. So we'll just do it like this. Okay. And then if I do something like this. Oh, no. Like this. There we go. That's evened out. So a little sitting area, you know. We would have little seats. Obviously, like there are no real seats here, so we can just make kind of like little benches. So we'll do like let's say we do like call that a bench, call that a bench, call that a bench, you know? Little sitting area, sit with your friends. Actually, what does clay look like when you put it down? It might look kind of like a, let's see. You know what? We're not going to do any of that. It just doesn't look quite right to me. So instead, man, these things, you pick them up too quickly. So instead, we're just going to leave it as is. And then the other thing that I would like to do really quickly is let's put a tree somewhere. Just a nice tree. The guiding tree is what I'll call it. So let's kind of let's actually dig out this area. So it's 2 little brick spots. Okay. And now we don't need the taiga grass, although that would be cool if I went and got taiga grass imported from the faraway lands of the mountain just a little bit up the ways. And then we'll do like a little tree like this, okay? And just kind of, you know, to have a nice little bit of shade for the people to come and sit under, you know? Something like this. Whoops. Needs to be higher than that. Whoop. Okay. And we're not going to get too crazy with the shape of this tree right now. But get myself up on here. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, you come in here. This is like your nice little seating area. All right, let's go back through our maze. Okay, so it's not that way. I think it's this way, and you go all the way to the wall, and you come this way, and then go back, and then come back this way, and then go there, and then you go out, and then you're out. Boom, I memorized it. Boom. Probably because I just designed it. Look how good that looks. That looks incredible. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love that, actually. That's great. Okay, and then over here, this will be a more traditional garden area. So this will be where we'll have a couple of trees. So maybe like just gonna dot these around a little bit. Okay. No organization to it. I like more the idea of it kind of just looking a little more randomized, right? Like they actually grew the trees. They pruned them, but they grew them. Okay, and then just kind of a little bit of this action. A little randomness. Wish I could jump higher. Wish I could fly. Wish I had Minecraft creative mode. Okay, something like this. Let's get up on this one. Okay, and lastly, the big tree. Oops. A little bit more, come on. Thank you. Okay, this goes almost all the way up. All right. Doot, doot, doot. Doot, 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 doot. Okay, give me some mo. There we go. Okay. Some on the top. Do 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 do. Okay, something like that. Ouch! Need to eat some bread. Okay, let's see what these trees look like. Yeah, those look like trees. Those look like trees. Yeah. Okay, so then we put down maybe like some bushes. Okay. Again, just kind of randomly smattering them around. Do, 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 do. Then, of course, all along the edge here, which I know my people are going to go and walk across to get inside through these little windows, but it is what it is. We'll do the same over here. Even though you don't see it, it's still there. Part of me wonders if I can pick up berry bushes and put them down like this, you know? Oh, and you know what? We're going to put down another berry farm because we know what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a rose garden that's being tended to right here by some of our workers. So we're just going to use our imaginations, and we're going to say that it's actually a rose garden right here. Which, oh, I love that idea because I'm from Portland. We have road gardens. They're great. How big can this be? Just like that. Okay, so let me go look at the berry farm. We can do the same thing with flax. Honestly, flax looks great. Okay, so if it's a 5 by whatever, you have 2 rows on the second and the fourth marker. So I want it to line up with this line, I think. Yeah, with this line. So it needs to be here. Oops. To here. And we'll go all the way. Just like that. Yeah. That'll be great. Because then we'll have 2 little rows of what look like roses right there. Oh, y'all, that's going to be good. I'm going to have to wait for someone to come in and do that for the next day. As you can see, we've actually built up a good chunk of food. So that's nice because that'll help us once we do hire a whole bunch more colonists. But I think, y'all, at this point, that's going to be where we're going to end this episode. I think we've made a lot of progress. I mean, I've got... Let's get up here. Aw. Let me get up. Come on. Help me up. Help me up. We've got our hedge maze. Okay. We've got our front wall built, which is just going to be incredible once this whole castle is built. Because like I said, it'll probably be, we'll have a nice kind of shape in the middle here. That'll be the next floor. That'll be like the third floor up there. These towers will go up a little bit taller as well. So I'm not sure how much of that work I'm going to do off camera, how much that I'm going to do next episode. We'll see once we get there. I need to light this up a little bit more for y'all. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to end this episode, y'all. So with all of that, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please be sure to give a like, a favorite, and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, in between episodes, I'm going to just go down into the mines. I'm going to dig out a whole bunch of areas so that we can have some farms and things like that. Y'all have given me a whole bunch of good ideas. The last one that I want to mention, one of y'all said I should build a wizard's tower up there in them yon hills, which I think is a great idea. And then one of the things that I think is going to be the best, and it may completely mess with us because of the shape of our town, once we have the whole castle built, banners going right on top. Right on top. There's going to be a central structure that's like the highest little peak, and we're going to put the banner right on top of that, and that is going to be awesome, I think. So y'all, with all that, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, give it a like, a favorite, subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all next time!